Are you guys trying to accuse me of something?
No, not right now.
I just have a funny feeling that there's something you're not telling me.
Yeah, see the body. Definitely did.
Dude, you can handcuff me. I don't know what the goddamn gun is at.
That's probably about to happen because I think you're a liar.
I'm fucking tripping out right now, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I fucking just want to be told down. What's going on?
Titus County 911, what's your emergency?
I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. I am at the verge of untying my niece at this particular moment.
Okay, she's tied up.
She is tied up and gagged.
And gagged? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
On February 20th, 2015, the Titus County Sheriff's Office received this frantic 911 call. A woman named Ginger Kestoerson had made this 911 call after she was told to check on her niece. As she reached the house, she found her niece, Samantha, in a horrific condition.
I am untying her. I can't get to the door.
Okay, is there anybody else there?
Is anybody else here? Where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep, ranging from 7 to 1.
7 to 1 years old?
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to her. Is she able to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Hi, Samantha. I know you're upset, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Do you need EMS?
No, they didn't do anything to me. They hit me once.
Okay, they hit you in the face?
Yeah, they had me tied up and they dragged me down the stairs to face my husband. And when my husband went in and faced me, they hit me in the face, like backhand slapped me. And so he looked at me then and they said, I thought that would get your attention. And I want you to stare at this woman. Do you want us to kill her? And he said, no. And they said, then tell us the truth. And he said, I don't know anything.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me how many there were?
She said 3,
Negative.
maybe 4.
She's advising that there were...
She said she couldn't really tell because they wrapped her by her hair and drug her into another room.
They wrapped her by her hair and drugged her into another room?
Yes, ma'am, and that's where they tied her up.
Samantha claimed that, quote, there were intruders, and apparently they had kidnapped him, end quote. The him in this statement is her 30-year-old husband, Ernie Ibarra. The Titus County Sheriff's Office rushed to the house, where the trauma-struck Samantha walked them through the crime scene.
Alright, so walk me through what happened.
I don't honestly know what happened. I was in bed asleep, and we heard a noise, and the second I was able to open my eyes, somebody grabbed me and jerked me out of the bed and slammed me down on the ground and started tying me up and put a knife to my throat and told me don't move.
Okay.
They were punching me over and over and over, and just he was fighting back, and I was just letting him do it. And
what's your husband's name?
Ernest Ibarra.
Ernest Ibarra? Okay.
Ernest Ibarra Jr., a Texas native, initially had a deep passion for reading, but by high school he had shifted his interests to computers. Gaming became his new love, and he even enjoyed repairing computers in his spare time. Young Ernest was ready to fall head over heels for the first girl who caught his eye. And that girl was Samantha Wohlford. They met in 2008 at a local tattoo shop and quickly began dating. According to Samantha's sister, they seemed like soulmates. Ernest was so smitten that he eagerly stepped in to care for Samantha's twins from a previous relationship. Later in 2011, Samantha became pregnant again and had twins again. By 2013, there was a 5th child, which not only meant a lot of noise around the house, but a lot of mouths to feed. But Ernie was determined. He worked 2 jobs to support the family, running bat manufacturing machines for D-Bat and working nights at a Little Caesars Pizza. Samantha tried supporting the family by starting a YouTube channel where she discussed her passions, her personal life, and the struggles of being a young mother of 5.
Good morning, YouTubers. It's been a while, but my friend gave me a wonderful idea, so I'm going to maximize on it and change it. She wanted to have tips and pointers on how I get through life, so I figured I could do like a daily tip on maximizing your time and making things go smoother.
Her goal was to generate extra income for the household, and as a mother of 5, she certainly got the attention she wanted. Meanwhile, her husband, who had fallen head over heels for Samantha, worked tirelessly to provide for the family. Given his dedication and the love he had for his family, it's almost unimaginable to think that he would be a target of kidnapping.
How did she find out that you were?
Because they took his phone, but they didn't take mine. I had mine hidden. So I was able to.
So he's got his phone?
No, they have his phone.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. What's his phone number?
I don't know.
You don't know?
430.
You got it stored in your phone?
Yes.
Okay,
It's a newish number. My aunt has my phone.
Huh? Well, I need that number. Get that number from me.
This was an important lead because they could trace the cell phone to the nearest tower and find where Ibarra was taken. But unfortunately, the kidnappers were smart enough to shut off his phone, so now there was no way to trace his actual location. Meanwhile, the detectives went through Samantha's timeline of events on the floor where all this happened.
Did you hear him say anything else besides what you told us?
They said that it was because of his dad. And that
Because of his dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that if he could come up with $20,000 in 5 minutes, they'd spare his life. And he said he couldn't get his hands on that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you know what's going on with the dad?
I have not had anything to do with his dad since me and him had our last problem.
Okay.
They said his dad narked on someone and got their man thrown behind bars. And now they were taking revenge and taking someone from him. He took someone from them, and now they're taking someone from him.
Okay.
And he said that it wasn't anything against me or the kids because we're only Ibarra by marriage. He's Ibarra by blood. And they took his ID and his wallet.
Mm-hmm. Where was that at?
It was in his truck.
Oh, it was in his truck? Okay.
Yeah, they made him tell him, I'm upstairs, I could hear him telling him. They made him tell him, they cut my shirt off. And then after, they made me stand there naked in front of him, threatening to do things to me.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said,
You were outside or here inside?
I was in the living room.
The living room?
When they took me to the living room, he said, get you a shirt and get it quick, because I'm not this type of person. So I started rummaging through my closet. He said, I said get it quick, and pushed the knife against my throat. So I just grabbed whatever shirt
and
put it on.
Okay.
But he grabbed my shirt and he started cutting it, and he cut it down the collar, and then he said,
what's your name?
Samantha.
Samantha
Wohlford. Where's that shirt at? Is it downstairs? What color is it?
It's gray sweater.
Gray sweater? Okay.
That's what I was sleeping in.
Okay. So you said they started cutting the sweater?
And then got tired of it and just yerked it off my head.
Okay. Did they...
Should be cut across here somewhere.
Okay. And you said they had a knife?
Yeah, to my throat.
Okay.
And they had a...
Did it seem like a large knife or what?
It was like a box cutter.
Okay. All right.
She claimed that one of the attackers held a knife to her throat while Ernie was dragged downstairs and beaten. Then, Ernie was kidnapped while she was taken upstairs and bound and gagged. After the intruders left, she wiggled over to her phone and dialed her mother's number with her nose. Now, all of this makes sense on paper, but after going over the crime scene 4 times, the investigators started to realize that something doesn't add up. Samantha claimed that the intruders tied her up and gagged her. But when questioned about how she was able to call her mother while bound, she said that she could only dial with her face. However, when asked, well, how did you dial your mother with your face? She replied that she simply pressed the first number that came up, which the detectives did not believe. At the time, the detectives tried getting access to her cell phone records to see if that was the case, but she refused. And after being asked about her cell phone multiple times, she finally caught on to what the detectives were thinking.
So they've got a pretty violent past, and we've arrested him before.
Yeah.
Assaulting her and the infant. Make sure, she didn't do something to him and then stage the scene to make it look like something happened. So they kick the door and they come up these stairs. And get them before they're being able to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's the only part that's getting me is how do you... They would have to either be familiar with the place to be able to do all that and know where they were asleep.
upstairs?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you guys trying to accuse me of something?
No, not right now. We're just trying to get all the details of everything that happened.
Well, he's asking if anybody's calling me and want to look at my call list.
I mean, you're saying that somebody called or somebody saying something about money or something like that, so.
I don't know these people. I'm pretty good at recognizing voices, and I didn't recognize theirs.
Investigated back. Sam, we're going to go here in just a few minutes. I'm going to take the kids down to the mom, and then we'll get you and your mom on, come down to the office with me so we can start on the status and things like that.
There's more stuff to do tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
I've already written out a statement.
I'm not still in the field, so obviously he's missing, so we need to find him.
That's what you should be working on.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Why is statements?
Yeah, Chris is talking to her again, and I think they're about to get the mom to take the kids and have her come up here go up to the office.
This was a targeted home invasion. And judging by Samantha's story, it is possible that she knows more than she lets on. After giving a witness statement and walking over the story multiple times, the investigators have no choice but to bring her in for questioning to see if that is the story she sticks to. At the same time, she's frustrated, thinking that the detectives are looking into her when the real kidnappers are still on the loose, and her husband is missing.
It was an incident, I think this was last year sometime where we all got into a fight. He had assaulted you, slapped the phone out of your hand, the phone line, hitting, I guess, was it the youngest one? And then the baby?
The middle one. The youngest. It was the brother to the twin. I keep wanting to say youngest because I guess that was you. I don't know, Caden, I don't keep forgetting to add him.
So
he was the baby of the second set of twins.
Okay. So I remember that was kind of a rough time there when y'all were going through that when he assaulted you.
Yeah.
We got a protective order for you against him to keep him away from you and everything. So I'm guessing y'all made up with him and got back together. Mm-hmm. How long after that assault happened did y'all get back together?
A few weeks after the emergency protective order actually was lifted. In the meantime, he found out from some judge that he could call me. So he started calling me, which I told you that. He can continue calling me, asking what my demands were, what I had to do to even remotely have me consider him being back in the house with us. And I told me to take anger management and get help. He went through all of the anger management courses. He included those on a certificate to fill them to the judge. Off and on, we Skyped, and things seemed better. And so the first time I actually went to see him, it was kind of a sporadic thing. I went to let him come out maybe spend the night, try to get him every few days, and just so for the first 2 weeks or something, I just kind of wanted to feel out how he was acting, and then he came home.
Did y'all have any other problems going on in that time frame?
Other than just kind of, he's working 2 jobs, and that's stressful enough, and he wants to come in and gripe at me and pick at me. Just typical, nothing bad.
So there hasn't been anything else going on as far as, you said something about you thought he might have been messing around on you.
He just randomly started coming home late within the last few weeks. Every day he's home late.
Well, I remember back when that assault happened back in 2014, if my memory serves me correctly, he'd been out at a party or a bachelor party.
So not late like that.
Right. I mean, it was back in 2014 that he'd been out at a bachelor party.
Crowded his dad's house.
Yeah, was possibly cheating on you, messing around, and that's what that argument started over. And he wound up assaulting you, knocking the phone out of your hand, which in turn hit the baby in the head. That's what all that had stemmed from all that. Has there been anything else going on as far as anything else make you would think you might be cheating?
Other than him just being late, he gives me access to his phone, his email. He completely, I swear to God, saying there's nothing going on, but why are you home late every night?
What's your good instinct?
So far, I mean, it's back there in my mind saying that, yeah, I kind of thought that was the case, but there's no evidence to show that it was. Not like back when that happened, which, of course, after that happens, that's going to be my first shooting. He's already done it once, doing it again. But this time, I feel like there's something he hasn't been telling me, but I don't know what.
What's your good feelings?
So now the grief-struck Samantha, who's only a few hours removed from such a traumatic experience, is calling out her husband's late-hour absent nights and the one time he cheated. She also brings up an incident from August of 2014 where she had filed an assault report against Ernie. But at this point, the detectives need to know anything and everything that could help them point towards a possible kidnapper. Quick reminder, by the way, if you like what you're watching, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Now, back to the video.
I was talking about earlier that, we have to, look at close friends, family, things like that first to try to get a line on things. One of the things I need to do, obviously, I'm going to need to take some pictures, where they were holding it to your neck and your wrist.
It was on this side. He slapped me in the face on this side, but my aunt said it didn't bruise or anything. Definitely felt like it should have been right in my mouth.
Like I said, what I'm going to do is just take some pictures of your hands where they bound you, your legs where they bound you, and put their on your neck and everything on that. One of the other things also that I need to do, like I said, we just have to do everything we can to rule everybody out first also, is I need to do, just check your hand, make sure there's not any blood or anything on your hands, or not anything on the jewelry or anything like that. Marks, cuts, anything. Okay. Another thing, what I'll need to do is, since there was a handgun that you said that was involved in that, I need to do what's called a GSR test, which is a gunshot residue kit. Just check your hands, make sure.
I've never held a gun in my life, so.
Okay. Well, what I'll need to do, would you be willing to consent to that?
Yes.
Just let me test you.
Whatever it takes to get him found, I don't care.
Okay. But what I have to make sure from you is that you absolutely had no involvement in this whatsoever.
No.
Okay, so like I say, you two weren't fussing, you weren't fighting, you didn't get out of hand, you didn't punch him, kick him, stab him, shoot him, nothing like that. I'm not going to find out anything any different later once we get there, because the deputies, they're out there right now, basically searching your house from top to bottom for every piece of physical evidence that we can find.
Anything that'll help them find it.
Well, like I said, that's why I want to make sure, because we're going to be checking your phone records, your family's phone records. Was there anybody in your family that's involved in this?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Not that you're aware of it?
No.
Would there be any reason why any of your family members wouldn't be involved in what hurt Ernie?
Brett's had problems with him in the past, but as far as taking it to the point of kidnapping him, no.
So you think, well, obviously you know Brett's boys. So
I would know Brett, yes.
Okay, so
very well.
So you don't feel like Brett had any
No.
involvement in this? What about your mom or anybody? You didn't got any problems with Ernie?
No.
To the point that I want to do something.
They've had their little problems or whatever, but nothing that would go to this level, no.
I'm not going to find any kind of evidence to the contrary.
No.
You were involved in. What about a polygraph? Would you be willing to take a polygraph?
Yes.
To prove to me that you had no involvement, no knowledge, no nothing involved in this. Okay. And the clothing that you had on there, because like I said, we'll have to send your clothes to the lab, have it tested, and make sure that there's no blood on there from him. Anything that's the lab's gonna come back and say, what we found on her clothing does not match her statement of what she's saying happened. That just is not the case.
No, it should be fine.
Should be or will be?
I was right there, no, in front of him, nose to nose with him.
Right.
And
Well,
they
I
were
can-
punching him in the face with a gun.
Right. And I understand that. I mean, if you've got some blood on you from that, they'll be able to tell by the
If
way the
it's-
blood's on you. If it came in sideways, upside down, across you, whatever. Like if you two are right up here like me and you're this close together and they're punching or hitting you, the way the blood comes on someone, the way we tell the lab what this happens when they examine your clothes and look for blood, gunshot residue, anything, hairs, fibers, whatever type of evidence, when they look at your clothes, they'll be able to tell us, okay, look, this is what we found, based upon
The
their
only
studies.
type of DNA from him that should be able to be found in my clothes would be semen.
And what about the blood? How were you up close with him when they punched him?
Yes.
Okay, so you think there might be some blood on
Well, I didn't, inspect for
Right.
splatter or anything like that. When they jerked me away from him and cut my clothes off, I never touched him
So it's
again.
possible.
So there may be. But is it because I laid my hands on him? No, my hands were tied behind my back.
When
And
they
I'm
cut-
watching this guy punch him in the face with a gun over and over.
How'd they make it feel?
Horrible. I was hysterically bawling.
So that didn't make you feel glad or
No.
there's some torture or
No.
because you told me that you felt good about wanting to stab him, kill him.
At some point in time, everybody loses their temper. But have I ever acted out and hurt anybody? No. And you can look at my record on that. I have one count of criminal mischief, and that was because I tossed my keys to somebody and let them use my car. And they didn't have a license.
Now, when they cut your shirt off of you, was it violent or they just took their
Yes.
time? And just
No, well, they jerked it out and started slashing at it with this apparently dull box cutter, and then when it didn't work, ripped it off over my head and threw it to the side.
So it wasn't completely cut in half.
No, they started cutting like they were going to cut it down or across, and the blade wasn't working, so they said, and ripped it off over my head.
But as far as tonight, you had nothing to do with
No.
this experience. You don't know who did it.
No.
You're positive about it.
Yes.
So, look me in the face. I need to know the truth. Did you have anything to do with Ernie's disappearance?
No.
Did you have anything to do with his death?
No. Dead. He's dead?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yes, if he is dead, no.
Do you think he's alive?
I hope so.
Did you have anything to do with it?
No.
You had nothing to do with his
No.
disappearance? Nothing. If God forbid he is found deceased, did you have anything to do with it?
No.
Did you hire someone to do it?
No.
You had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it.
Absolutely nothing. They're not praying to God. They're just like holding him to get at his dad. Yeah, I really, really don't want to plan a funeral for my husband.
Well, like I say, the reason why I'm having to ask you these tough questions is I need to know. I need to be
I
absolutely.
know that they always look at the spouse first.
I have to be absolutely positively sure you had nothing to do with this.
I know. No, I not.
The detective knows that her side of the story doesn't make sense against the evidence collected from the house, yet she is sticking to the story. This was also the first time his death was revealed to her, even though it wasn't confirmed. But in situations like this, where there is no direct proof of someone's death, there's a term called presumption of death. So for now, it's her story against the evidence, which is why the detective calls in a senior sheriff, someone who has been to the crime scene, been shown all the evidence, and is now given the daunting task of making her tell all that she knows. But before we continue, let me thank the sponsor of today's video, June's Journey. Imagine stepping into the dazzling world of the 1920s, surrounded by glamour while solving intriguing mysteries. That's exactly what you get with June's Journey. You follow June Parker as she tries to crack the case of her sister's murder while uncovering her family's secrets. Every scene draws you in deeper, and trust me, the twists will keep you hooked. The thing I love about it, it's super relaxing, but it also makes you think. You're hunting down hidden objects in these beautifully designed scenes, and it feels so rewarding when you finally piece everything together. It's not just a game, it's like a little escape to another time. And when you want to take a break from the mystery, you can even decorate and customize your own mansion and garden. What's cool is you can play June's Journey however you like. Go solo and enjoy the story at your own pace, or join a club and compete with others in special events to earn rewards. The best part? June's Journey is free to download, and you can play it on your phone, whether you're on iOS or Android, or even on your PC through Facebook Games. So wherever you are, you can dive right into June's world. If you're ready to test your detective skills, download June's Journey using the link in the description, or just scan the QR code on screen.
And this is why that it's very important, honey, that we want you to be honest, because I'm going to tell you what, the evidence we found on the scene, it's just not matching. I don't think you harmed this boy, but I think you know who did, because if somebody's going to kidnap him, why is there his blood in y'all's pickup? Kidnappers ain't going to use their pickup to do something with him and put him out there and put him in the truck and haul him back.
In his pickup, he was what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody, it's apparent to me that somebody used his truck to take him somewhere after he was assaulted at y'all's house.
I told him that they got into his truck because they wanted his ID. It's because they said they needed to verify 100% they had the right person, is what they said. I don't know if they were one of the people that hit him or not. They sent somebody out to the truck to get his wallet to check his ID.
Okay, yeah, because you know what we think? We don't think he's going to be far. We've got things on his phones because whoever did this didn't have the mind to take his phone. And it's too late now because we've got the coordinates, we've got the pings. We're working on that. We've also got the Tilford dogs coming out. I think we're going to find him, and I think he's hurt. I really do. And
Hurt but not dead, right?
Well, I don't know. And this is what's going to look so bad is from your story. And this is why you don't have to be a suspect. And I still don't think you did it. I don't think you're strong enough to do it. But I personally, I think you're scared. I don't know if you had a boyfriend that he found out about.
I didn't have a boyfriend.
Okay. I don't know what the deal is, but Sam, you've got your kids was in the same room. There's just the whole layout of your house and the way you said they took him. It's just not making sense. Sam, that's honesty is always the best policy. We don't want you to get in here and make up some story because you're scared. Because if you know something that you're not telling us, and I think you do, I think there's more to this than you're telling us. I'm not saying you're a complete liar and you fabricated the whole thing. You could have. I'm not saying you did. This is what I'm saying. You've got a chance to tell us right now and be the hero in this deal. I think there's more. I've done this a long time. I'm reading your body language. We're going to piece this thing together. Listen, Sam.
And I'll help every way I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help every way I can.
I just think there's still something that you probably know that you're not telling us. And that does not make you guilty. That does not make you, if he's dead, it does not make you a murderer. But you've got to understand, you've got children.
I know.
And I don't want to see all of a sudden we find him, let's say that he's dead. Let's hope he's alive. But then all of a sudden we find out your story, that you knew something, and then the issues of warrant. Guess what? It's going to be at least 20 years before you can ever touch your kids again. They'll have grandchildren. You'll have grandchildren before you even get to touch them. They won't let you do when you get a murder charge. They ain't going to touch people in prison.
I didn't kill him.
Well, but that's the thing. You don't have to kill him. I don't think you did. Now, I'm going to tell you right now.
I have not touched him.
I know, Sam. I believe you. Here's my problem. Your story's not matching. I think you could be the hero and help us solve this thing quick.
If there's anything I can do, if I can ride in the vehicle with you and go to wherever it is his cell phone thing, I will go and I will help everybody I can.
Now we have to, all it does is gives us general area, and then we gotta find him.
And I will help any way I can. If
right
it's an area I
we've
know.
got the general area.
If it's an area I know that I might possibly have.
Well, I can't do that though, because then if you were there, then it could taint our crime scene. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just telling you, if it's an area that I possibly know that I might have some idea.
And this is why, and Sam, I'm not in here trying to stress you out, get you to confess something you didn't do. That is not what I'm trying to do, and I would never want you to do that. I personally do not think you hurt this young man.
They said a name, and that's the only name I know.
Okay. I'm just thinking there's probably something here, because this just ain't normal that happens around here. just stuff at the house, the blood being in his truck. I just have a funny feeling that there's something you're not telling me that you could tell me, and you're afraid it's going to make you look guilty. And it's not, unless you did it, and I don't think you did it. Now, Sam, won't you talk to me now? What is it that you're scared that you're not telling me? There's something.
I'm scared that y'all are going to try and find me guilty for this.
No,
when all I am is
oh, you know what?
a living way.
But you know what? Here's the thing,
I'm
Sam.
scared that y'all are
No, I don't want to find you guilty. I want to prove you innocent. I don't want to prove you guilty. The evidence is what will prove when we find him. And that's all I'm worried about. If you are telling us the gospel truth, then you have nothing to worry about.
Now the dynamic of the interrogation has changed. It's no longer her story against the evidence. It's her story which she's scared to tell because she fears that it will make her look guilty. In situations like this, the investigators can only change the dialogue by saying that they don't think she did it, but that she knows someone who did, and that by knowing this, she won't get incriminated. But if she's keeping this a secret, it is possible that she wants to protect someone, possibly the real kidnappers.
I think you know exactly who did this, and I think you're scared. And that's what I'm trying to beat into your head. Don't let fear keep you from telling the truth. Because if you knew these guys that did it, you know why they did it, does not make you guilty. But what's going to make you guilty is when we prove that you lied to us in here.
But if that is the case, then I do know who did it and why they did it.
Okay.
Doesn't that make me like an accomplice?
Nope.
Actually, it does if she was directly involved, but that's not something the detective is going to bring up right now. By now, she has realized that the sheriff is not buying her story. So now she'll try to confess about the parties involved.
The only other thing.
Okay. See, I knew. And you know, Sam, you know I'm not here lying to you. You know I know.
The only other thing I know, and I don't even know if I know,
okay,
but it's suspicious.
Okay.
I've been up at the hospital with my friend Charlotte.
Okay.
And she's got a guy there, and I swear to God, I cannot go up there that I said any of this.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of friends around here, and my life will be in a lot of danger.
Okay.
But the only other thing I know is venting to her and talking to her about problems. Like I just told you, I have a problem with talking to my friends about our problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have many of them. So when I do get with one of my friends, I want to talk about any problems we might have had. And honestly, lately, it hasn't been many.
Okay.
We have had problems in the house, and I haven't seen Charlotte in a long time.
Okay, come on with it.
And she's got this guy in the room with her, and he gets to talking about how a man shouldn't treat a woman that way, and how you don't do those things to a person, and he's going to deal with the situation. I didn't take him seriously.
Okay, you see, Sam, you know who did this, but that does not make you guilty.
But I don't have any proof that he did. I just have what he said.
Okay, who is this guy?
His name's John.
John who?
His Facebook is Rebel. John Rebel. It's John. I don't truly know his last name, but his Facebook says John Rebel. But yesterday at the hospital, he had a guy that I do know from town with him. His name is Tay.
Who?
Tay Rhymes.
Tay?
Tay. He's black.
Tay Rhymes, he's a black male?
Yes.
Okay, you had him with him? Where's he from?
I didn't say yes, he had him at the hospital with him. I cannot guarantee that these are the right people.
But you know what?
I know that
you know in your heart, Sam. You know this guy did it. You know he did it, and here's the thing.
But why? Unless he's got serious psychological issues, why?
Well, what did you say? What did you say when he said he's going to take care of that problem?
I just laughed at him. I thought he was joking.
So now all of a sudden, why are you bringing him out? Because you know that it was him.
Because,
why do you know it was him?
Because of his prison record, and because I don't know. I just have this feeling like it was. I don't
You think
know.
he was the one in the room that was beating him?
Probably.
This is the most vital piece of information on the case which she decided to withhold this long, and the only reason why is that she feared for her and her children's safety. Now, of course, all this information needs to be checked afterwards, but now, as she continues to talk about John Rebel and Tay Rhymes, she starts convincing herself and the sheriff that it was them who she saw that night.
Before this happened in my house,
Yes.
Tay was with him. And there was another guy, I don't know his name, but he pretty much fits the bill of the third guy.
There was 3 people?
Yes, at the house there was 3 people. And at the hospital yesterday, you can look at the cameras, there was 3 people.
Sanford was the key person who was tied directly to the other 2 possible suspects. Jose was his brother-in-law, and Octavius Rhymes was his friend. Sanford also had an extensive criminal record, which is why the investigators decided to track him down immediately. According to Samantha, his girlfriend was still in the hospital, and John was still in the maternity ward. Police arrived at the ward to find both John and Jose there, so they were both under arrest. Obviously, the 2 were interrogated in separate rooms so that they had no idea if the other person requested a lawyer, refused to speak, or even dropped the bomb on the entire investigation. Which makes these next few minutes more interesting.
John, you know what this is about, buddy. You know exactly what it is. You know what happened over at Samantha's house last night. That's what we want to talk to you about, okay? I'm gonna randomize you. You know your rights. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to, and that's fine. I hope you decide to, because I think there's some things you're probably gonna need to tell me, your side of the story, and see if it's gonna match Samantha's. Because Samantha, well, I'll be honest with you, she's pointing the finger at JoJo. She said he was with him. And it's one of the guys. She swear down. I don't know who the third guy was. I don't know if she's lied to us so much, the little makeshift type job that y'all did on her. She's lying. So I tell you what I want to do. I'll give you the opportunity to tell me what's going on here. And because I know you're not going to beat that boy. I know for a fact you ain't. Or at least that's what we're fixing to prove. With evidence when we get out of that car off of him. So, okay. Now, do you want to talk to me just a little bit about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what they're saying first, because I think you'll be honest, because our bear's dead. He's dead. But now, according to Samantha, you was just a bystander. Why JoJo beat the living crap out of him up there in that room where we got all the blood and collecting evidence. Got other evidence outside. We've got enough to definitely prove. I've already seen something on him. I can prove that. Now what she's doing is she's pointing her finger at you and said, well, hey, John Rebels was just a bystander.
You can tell by now that while the sheriff is still confident about Samantha's involvement, he's trying to turn Sanford against her.
And then she come back and started saying how you was plotting and want to kill him, want to take care of the problem.
No, it had nothing to go like that.
Well, I think it's over a dope deal. What I think. But now you tell me, because we've got everything we need. We've got y'all. We've got everything. I mean, we're wrapping this up. Now all I need is to know and see what I'm going to charge you with. If it's going to be for murder, or if you're going to cooperate, and we find out possibly, because I can't make you no promises.
I know. I already know.
So now you tell me what happened.
Okay, this all started yesterday. Like you said, yeah, we talked to her about her problem with her husband and all that. Mm-hmm. Never did I plot to kill the guy. I have a problem with males hitting females.
And I do too.
That's what me and JoJo done fought 3 or 4 times over, because he has a bad habit of putting his hands on his fiance.
I agree. You're right.
Can't do it. She had a bad habit. Dude treated her like shit. I said, hell, if it was me, I'm accustomed to settling shit by fighting. Simple as that. I spent most of my life locked up.
So far, you and her are matching on your story. That's exactly what she said.
So, and I told her, I said, if anything ever happened, like yesterday, she was with us. He claimed he called her like 13, 14 times and had an attitude with her. He didn't. I had the phone in my pocket. I know he didn't call. the phone log on her phone shows that he only called one time at 12 something, and then another time at 5 something. Both times she answered the phone. So he had an attitude, threw a hissy fit, and she said, well, he's all mad, Wool told me this, that. I said, well, look, I said, it's like this. I just met you. I don't know too much about you, but you're one of my ex's best friends. I'm here to help my homegirl out because really she's just a real close friend, like a little sister to me. She didn't have nobody there to help her. Her mom loves me to death, and that's about the only thing she could get. Well, I told her, I said, look, if I ain't even gonna lie, if I see you tomorrow with bruises, because by this time she had offered me to use her vehicle to take Charlotte home. And I told her, I said, if for any reason I see bruises on you and I can tell the difference between, I slipped and fell bruise to, I got the shit beat out of me. And I told her, I said, I'm going to beat the shit out of them regardless. I don't care. That's just me. That's how I am.
Right.
She told me, well, she did say that there's been times it's crossed her mind to do stupid shit, this and that.
Like what?
Like, basically, like, get somebody to fuck them off. Like, not kill them, but, like, just beat the shit out of them, set them up, shit like that, right? And I told her, I said, well, damn. I said, you're talking to somebody that could do that, but I wasn't going to, though.
Well, so far, his story corroborates with what Samantha says, but some of his statements still hint that he had something to do with this. On top of that, he bought the lie. He now thinks that Samantha accused him of mastering this entire plan, so now he's going to give his excuses and reasons, and at the same time, he will incriminate himself.
Okay, now explain, what were they telling you that y'all was going to do and why?
Supposedly, from what I understood, supposedly we were going out here. All I was supposed to do was pull up, sit outside. They were going to go in, supposedly rough the dude up. Mm-hmm. This is what I was being told, but at the same time, I keep getting, and don't forget, you got a newborn baby you're looking after, blah, 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 this and that, right? So to me...
Why are they going to go fuck him up?
Apparently...
Just be honest with me.
Apparently, from my understanding, JoJo was pissed off because me and Tay were outside at the hospital earlier that day, and she was telling us how her husband be treating her and about some other stuff in her past, about her being raped and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, that makes me and Tay both pissed off. Then when we got back to the house, Tay told JoJo, because JoJo, first time meeting her, ain't never met her a day before. Him and Tay talked. Then I guess JoJo just
snapped.
Yeah, because he does do that quite easily.
They gonna have his blood on the pen?
That I don't know.
Okay.
But I can walk up.
But we will take you there in a minute. You want to go with us? But first, let's finish the story. What happened then?
Okay. They go in. I'm the only person that knows the layout to the house. So JoJo asked me, like, where they sleep at? I'm like, man, I don't know. That's where I get caught in the ear. So I'm like, man, fuck. I'm like, man, look, come on. And I just walked up, stopped, and told him, man, look, upstairs. I was like, kids are up there too, though. Because the kids' room is upstairs also. They ain't go up. I have to go up in the middle. It was JoJo, me, and then the last dude. We go up. Go up. Then JoJo sits there. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Beat the living hell out the dude. Honestly, me personally, I do not believe Samantha really had a hand in playing it. I think that what she was saying just kind of got too far.
Okay, so what happened? Who beat the hell out of him?
JoJo and the other guy.
Okay. That's matching out. I want to tell you in a minute. Let me tell you what she said in a minute, because she definitely ID'd you there. She knew JoJo. She said it was definitely JoJo. She did not know this other guy. That's what she said. I don't know if she's lying or not. She said she does not know him, but she definitely knew it was you, and she knew it was JoJo.
And then on that too, I was the only.
So what happened there? They beat the hell out of him upstairs. Then what happened?
He got drugged downstairs, got put next to the door. The other dude was upstairs, brought her down. Well, no, my bad. They brought her down first. He did. The other guy brought her down first. And then JoJo made me come down. The dude came down, and he come down. The whole time he's got the gun to the dude's head. They come down. Get him down there.
So now he's portraying himself as the getaway driver hired under threat, who escorted JoJo and Tay to Samantha's house after Samantha said what she said about Ernie. To think that JoJo would just snap like that over someone else's grief story like he's some superhero is just unbelievable. Also, his story sounds believable till the point that he claims that Samantha had no involvement because the snapped reason is not good enough. This is why the sheriff will entertain this story, which does coincide with the truth. And because he was the getaway driver, chances are he knows where Ernie is.
Where the cigarettes at?
They're in the car.
Okay. Tell me now, when you got in the car, I need to get to the park now. Okay. What happened?
So when I got back in the car, JoJo standing there, says something to the other fool runs inside real quick. Comes back out, he's got a blanket and something else. Some type of cloth material shit, I don't know. It almost looked like, if you've ever done roofing before, it looked like a cloth nail bag almost. They wrapped that around his face. This dude's head split, nose broke, jaw, and he busted. They wrapped that around him.
Did you think then at that point that this was going to kill him?
At that point, I honestly didn't think they were.
Okay, well, go ahead.
They wrap him up. They take the blanket, wrap it around him. And at this point is when I start thinking, damn, what the fuck's really going on? Because they put the dude in the back seat.
Of the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the blood in there.
And I'm sitting there thinking.
Which side? Passenger side or?
Passenger.
Passenger side, back seat?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck? So we go. We leave. As we're going, they tell me, I go here, whoa, I'm driving. We go all the way out to the country. Get out to the country. Next thing I know, they walk off.
By themselves?
No, they walk off, stop, like they go off over here, like, okay. Let me see that card real quick. Okay, like, this is the wooded area, there's a creek bed here, we're parked here. Alright, they walk off around this way a little bit. Stop. You can see them through the trees, you can't really see them though. JoJo comes back around, tells me, hey, bring me a cigarette, and come on. So I get out and walk, and I'm like, man, what's up? We go over here, and then all of a sudden they start cutting, and I'm talking about straight thorn action, nothing but thorn bush. Go back in there, JoJo tells me, I stay there, so I stay back here. They come off a little bit deeper. A few minutes later, here they are coming back out. I'm like, man, what's up? They're all like, shit, go start the vehicle. Go start the vehicle, he throws me the keys. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I start running back to the vehicle, and in my mind process, this is my neck of the woods now.
So you know where you're at?
Yeah, this is my neck of the woods.
We're fixing to go out there, me and you. We're going back out there. Because everything you're saying so far is matching 100%.
Okay, this is my neck of the woods. So I'm thinking, damn, you just threw me the keys. Ex-gang member, my TDC file can show all that on SPG file. Oh yeah, I'm about to go down here and hit Safe House in park and call some of my old connections and be like, hey, look, I done got some shit, come help me.
Okay, well, what happened? Tell me, finish up what happened.
Well, before I got any further, the other dude pops out. He starts coming with me. I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, I'm getting in the vehicle too. Before I make the vehicle, all I hear is pop.
Who's got the gun?
JoJo does.
Okay, then what happened?
I know that sound by heart. I grew up with guns. My dad's 21 years Navy. I know what a gun sounds like. We're in the vehicle. I started, and JoJo comes out. He's got the blanket, the bandana that was wrapped around the dude's face, the other cloth material, a belt. He's got all this shit. He puts it in the back seat, he gets in, he's like, let's go. I have not been by myself since.
Okay, let's go.
Just like you seen, I didn't even have to keep coming when you came after me.
John, when you get down here before somebody tried to come mess with his body.
I tried to call you 2 or 3 times.
I was giving directions. He on his holding on the steering wheel. Show us the way. This way. James tells yes. This is where they made me stop.
They just right here like this. I
didn't go in?
I didn't go no further.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. You follow the game trail. My guess is they would follow the game trail because
I got him.
Okay.
Yeah, see the body.
Get in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely did.
The autopsy on Ernie Ibarra's body showed signs of blunt force trauma to the head and face, which matches Sanford's story. He was alive until they reached this remote location near Camp County, Texas, but ultimately, he died from a single gunshot wound to the back of his head. With a newfound body, and Sanford's blaming finger pointing at Jojo, aka Jose Ponce, Sanford now leads the detectives to Ponce's house. Because if he's the shooter, well then he must have stashed the gun somewhere in the house.
Can I please get a lighter? You don't have one?
Probably. Where's it at? Outside?
If you don't mind, talk to me for a second. Look inside to where I could get it a lot easier. If you don't mind. I ain't going to do that.
Let's talk to her alone.
No, not alone. I'm
Just seconds after seeing Sanford in cuffs and the whole sheriff department at her doorstep, Ponce's girlfriend, Lacona Slatton, just caved up and went inside, only to alert the other residents of the house. She has the legal right not to speak to the officers and can refuse to have her house searched, but that would only make her look more guilty. Plus, the officers have more than enough to get a search warrant. For now, though, that won't be necessary.
You control the house here, sir?
Yeah, my sister's gone right now.
Okay, I guess we can call her.
Got it.
She has a cell phone?
Oh, yeah, but I don't cell phone.
Okay, let me tell you what's going on. You live here, sir?
Yeah.
Where's it at? Where's the weapon at? Sheriff, he lives here too, so okay, we've got a murder weapon here. We've already got a box. Now we need the murder weapon. So we're going to seek out a few options to get it. Got the box, but we know where it's at. Yeah. You see it?
You still got all the evidence.
Yeah, it's not. So you can see it to go ahead and retrieve it, or we'll.
You don't mind?
No, I swear to God, I don't know.
The box, and the box is
I did a lockbox.
So you already knew the guy was involved.
No, she has no
I didn't
clue.
know about.
She has no clue about nothing. I'm telling y'all that now.
So
I haven't. She has no clue about nothing.
Here's the deal. All right, we need the gun. You could be charged with the same thing.
She was.
I know
here.
what the.
You could be an accomplice to murder, capital murder. That's death penalty. So if you know where the gun's at,
She knows where the gun's at.
you need to go
I
ahead and
don't
tell
know where
us.
the fucking gun's at. I just told you that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one more opportunity.
Dude, you can handcuff me. I don't know where the goddamn gun is at.
That's probably about to happen because I think you're a liar.
I don't give
You've
a
got
damn.
the freaking box. You've got the dead gun. Where'd the gun go then?
I don't know.
So why'd you get the box? No, you know.
Yeah, keep yelling at me all you want because I don't know where the fucking gun's at.
I'll get a transport unit for her. Okay, get a transport unit. She'll be charged with murder too.
Give a goddamn, because I don't know where the fuck your gun's at.
I don't care if you give a god whatever.
Yeah, go ahead and say it.
Nah, I'm not going to use force name and things.
It's possible that she hid the weapon because even Sanford doesn't know where the gun is. The only reason she brought out the toolbox is because that's usually where Ponce keeps the gun. But if it's not there, well, then she's putting herself in line for some serious questioning and intimidation.
I'm fucking tripping out right now, and I don't know what the fuck's going on, and I fucking just want to be told down what's going on.
I don't want you to trip. I want you to trip all the way to that damn jail.
I don't give a damn fucking jail. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man.
Yeah, you know what's going on. You said you knew there was a murder, then you got the freaking...
Because I asked the motherfucker about why the fuck they had him in the fucking car and what was going on. My grandpa was standing right beside me. Was it you I talked to, or was it somebody else?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the smart one.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, you remember enough to come home and get that box, that gun in it, don't you?
No, I remember to come home and check the fucking box.
So the gun's not in the tent?
I don't know. Go check the fucking tent. I don't know.
Is it okay if I check the tent?
Yes, it is okay.
Okay. And where's it at?
Right behind the house.
Okay. All right.
You get your on?
Yeah, it's on.
I don't think we're going to find it. But I truly think she's probably getting it there somewhere.
The sheriff's intuition is correct. He won't find the gun there. But as soon as they're done with the tent, the sheriff starts eyeing the crawl space underneath the house.
There you go, right there, I bet you. See the dope or the gun. Gun. Well, I can take
you video and show where it was at.
I can take one with this. It's got a picture deal on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I don't think that's what it's still up there. That's what you said. Whatever we need him. Get his name. Like,
I need a lot.
Take his information. Just
yeah, I'll grab something here in just a second.
I can honestly say she was here last night. Just like she got her head.
Oh, I ain't accused her of killing him. I'm accusing her having his gun.
Why the hell would I tell you to go look in the tent?
It wasn't in the tent.
Well, I don't know where the...
All we want is the truth.
Man, I'm telling you, all I know is the guy told me that they were suspects in a murder case. The first thing that popped in my head was that fucking gun. It was not in the fucking box where it was always at, and I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I want to fucking know.
Okay, well, just like the other officer told you, we're investigating a murder. All right? There was a guy killed last night. He was executed. All we want is your cooperation. Right now, you're not a suspect in this murder. All right?
I'm just saying, it's fucking stupid.
What is stupid?
From this point on, just remember that the gun was found under the house, and the fact that this was something Sanford didn't know. Now we are keen to hear Ponce's side of the story, who is already arrested and awaiting questioning. Up until now, Samantha has blamed Sanford, Rhymes, and Ponce. Sanford blamed Rhymes and Ponce while protecting Samantha and himself by leading the detectives to the body. Now we are going to watch the interrogation of a man who, according to Sanford, snapped and killed Ernie Ibarra.
Well, we might be talking. If you don't want to talk, we won't be.
I never said it, did I?
No, I'm just saying you don't want to. I'm going to read you your rights. I'm sure you know them. We're going to read them anyway, okay? And then we're going to talk about this gun and the body we found, and everybody pretty much pointed a finger at you, just like didn't I tell you? That's what I told you.
And I figured they would.
Okay.
Now, even though it's only been less than 30 seconds in the interrogation, we can tell that he's got someone to blame too. But in reality, he's about to drop the bomb on this entire investigation.
Okay, hey, Mr. Potts, let me tell you something, man. We got the gun at your house that you live at. The witness statements are to a T, the evidence we have collected. So, I know that you had cousin John, I know what you did. And poor old cuz, poor thing, didn't smart enough to get those clothes burnt before we found him. So, So let's talk about it. So what don't you tell me? Nothing, never mind. Just why don't you tell me about what happened last night? Listen, man, they've done everybody's done what the finger choose being the one to pull the trigger.
That's what I'm saying, dude, and I didn't.
Who pulled the trigger then?
Jonathan. The girl.
How can we prove that?
I could prove it.
How can you prove it?
Dude, look at my. Okay.
Hey, because remember, hey, I'm serious now. We found a gun at your house.
And I understand.
Well, y'all live in a tent back behind the house.
I understand that.
I mean, you're.
I understand that a lot.
Okay, so why don't you tell me
never found that gun in my tent? I promise you did.
Where do you think I found it?
I know exactly where you found it, which is in the spot that Jonathan hit it.
Jonathan put it there? Seriously?
Yes.
Where did he put it? I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you.
So in the back of the house, but underneath the house?
Yeah. That's it. And you saw him do it?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, let's go through this. What I need to do, I've got Samantha's version.
Samantha is the ringleader. Samantha is the one, and I can prove this. If you don't believe me, as God is my witness, all you have to do, you can take you and 15 of the officers, I don't care. Take me in front of my wife, and my wife will tell you a piece of what she overheard.
Well, now, I've actually kind of heard.
And my wife will tell you, she's the one who orchestrated it.
This was music to the sheriff's ear, but what he needed now was the facts of the case. Facts that only Ponce can spill.
All of a sudden, I look, there's 7 or 8 pets last night. They showed back up. This time, they showed up with Octavius, Jonathan, Samantha, and her kids. They stayed at the house probably about an hour or 2. Well, Jonathan pulls me to the side. Say, cuz, I need to talk to you. I don't know what's up. He's like, look. Oh, girl, talking about Samantha. He said, Samantha wants us to, do something. I said, wait. Samantha wants you to do something. What do you want me to do? Talking about him. He said, I just need your help. He said, it's a 3-man job. I said, okay, well, what is that? He said, look, I've already got, and I put this on my life, on my son's life. I've already got the layout of the whole house. The room is upstairs and this and that. And I said, okay. And he said, we're going to make it look like a home invasion. I said, okay, so what exactly is it, that the girl wants, right? And he wouldn't tell me full details until we went to the place. All of a sudden, he tells me, he said, look, I just need you to stand guard. He said, the way it's going to happen, he said, we're going to go in quietly. We're going to go upstairs. He said, whatever side she's laying on, Tay, which is Octavius' mom, he's going to go over there and he's standing. He said, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to stand by him. He said, all I need you to do is just stand guard and make sure that he doesn't try to grab a weapon or anything and try to use it. I said, all right, cool. Well, he said, we're gonna, he said, I'm gonna run. He said, we're gonna, basically, he said, beat him up a little bit, whatever, tie him up. He said, and take him for a ride with us. I said, okay. All right. Well, all of a sudden, we stopped talking about it.
Instead of shielding anyone, Ponce is bringing everyone down with him, even Samantha.
How'd you get in?
The door was unlocked. There was no forceful entry.
Okay, y'all didn't use a key to unlock it?
I didn't. I never touched that door. I didn't even know I didn't even know the girl. I didn't even know where she lived or anything. You know, I didn't know what the hell I was walking into when I walked in the house. So that's why I was the third guy in.
So you just thought they was gonna go in there and just slap him around a little bit because it's bad at it?
Yeah, because she's the one who told him, and I quote, he beats on the kids, he beats on me, and this and that, he treats me like shit, and da da da. So Jonathan took that as in consideration to, like I said, I thought slap him around, beat him up.
And since we've already seen Samantha's interrogation and how she claimed to only know Sanford, well, this means that Ponce is telling the truth. Well, not only is he telling the truth, he's backing it with facts that only the real killers would know.
The way it happened, when he got up to the door, he said, and he reached down. Like I said, I don't know if he had a key or not. All I know...
You talking about the front door, not the bedroom door. You talking about the front door?
The front door, yes, sir. Okay. I don't know if he had a key or not. All I know is the front door come open. He walks in real light and slow. Tay walks in behind him, which is Octavius rounds. I walked in behind him. I had my flashlight looking to make sure. I didn't know, because like I said, I didn't know what the hell I was walking into. At first, I didn't want to get tail out the car with that big ass dog that sits on the porch.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. I was like, so we get in. All of a sudden, we take the left. We go through I guess a dining room or whatever. And we take a rock and go through the kitchen. Then take another rock and then hit the stairs right there. Jonathan, the first one up. Before Jonathan went up, right by the bed. Right beside the bed on the floor, on the bed that he laid on, or the side that he was laying on the floor. Did you see a big old, did y'all see like a big claw hammer or something there?
I didn't, because I didn't go into work the crime scene. I was out chasing down Jonathan and finding him.
Okay, well, there was a big claw hammer that should have been found right there on the floor. It wasn't used or anything. It wasn't used. It was right there on the floor. It was not there to begin with. It was downstairs by the stairs. Jonathan picked it up, walks upstairs, the little spiral staircase. He goes up. All of a sudden, when he gets off the staircase onto the floor, he's bending down like this. He's bending down like this. Tay gets over the bottom. He's bending down like this. I'm still up on the top of the staircase, but not quite on the floor yet. But I'm right there, and he looks at me, goes like this. I walk up, I get up off the stairs and get up on the floor where he's at. And I bend down. And all of a sudden, we ease up over there. They realize who was laying where. Like I said, Octavius goes over there where she's at. He goes over here. I'm just standing guard. About this time, he puts the claw hammer down on the floor. He reaches over. And yanks him out the bed. About that time, Octavius yanks her out the bed. Remind you, she's in on this whole thing the entire time. She knows about it. And I'll take a polygraph.
Would you?
What, to prove that she was in on it? Yeah.
Okay. We'll give you one. Heck yeah. Because that would help us prove that she did it, that she was in on it. Darn right.
And all of a sudden, he says, what the fuck? And he's wrestling, trying to get up off the floor real quick. By that time, Jonathan reaches down. Like I said, I'm just standing there watching. making sure, you know what I'm saying, he don't have no weapons or anything. But all of a sudden, he's sitting there, they're fighting. They're fighting hard. And then they're like in her bedroom upstairs, like a big ass pit or something, like a hole. And he fell down off in there. Well, Jonathan got down off in there, and he stole off on Jonathan. That's how Jonathan got the scratches in his ears and everything over here. And all of a sudden, they're going at it. About that time, Jonathan pulls the pistol out. Jonathan pulls the pistol out, and he hits him with it.
Every part of Ponce's statement matches what happened at the Ibarra residence, even the fact that the actual murder weapon was hidden under the house. Interestingly, he was the only one who knew and is claiming that Sanford hid it there.
Hey, Jose, let me listen to this one today. I'll tell you something. I actually probably believe you want to do Jonathan. But Jonathan is that better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jonathan is really putting this whole thing on you. He said that you're the one that was keeping him. He said you're the one that fired the shot, and said that you're the one that wanted to go in there, and he kept saying that you saying something about his daddy. About like maybe his daddy had a bad dope deal that went bad.
I don't even know his dad. Matter of fact, I specifically told them when she told me who her husband was, right there in Octavius' house. Mm-hmm. When she told me his name, I told her. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know him. I don't even know his dad. I've never met the kid before in my life. Never. Just like her. I met her one time, and it was yesterday. Right there in the hospital parking lot. And then I seen her again last night at Octavius' house.
And why, just flat out, why again do you think this happened?
Because according to her, or according to what I was being told, because she was tired of being mistreated and beat on and everything. That's exactly what I was told. By Jonathan Sanford.
Okay. Last name spelled S-L-A-T-O-N.
And she heard her say specifically that she is an actress. She can make anybody believe what she wants.
Yeah, and he said some stuff here. He said some stuff here that I'm not going to mention. That way, if she says some stuff, I can confirm it with what he said. So, he's saying that one more guy here, Jonathan, he said
After abandoning their initial plan to plant illicit drugs in Ibarra's truck, Jonathan Sanford, Jose Ponce, and Octavius Lamar Rimes quickly came up with another plan. They would kidnap and murder Ibarra instead. Within hours, they had kidnapped him from his Titus County home, took him to the woods, and shot him. And the entire thing was planned by the vengeful mother of 5. Samantha Wohlford was charged with aggravated kidnapping and murder as a party to the offense and sentenced to 50 years in prison for the aggravated kidnapping and 99 years in prison for the murder. Jonathan Sanford and Jose Antonio Ponce were also charged with aggravated kidnapping, and after pleading guilty in April of 2016, they were each sentenced to 50 years in prison. Lastly, Octavius Lamar Rimes was found guilty of murder and received a combined 93-year prison sentence for his involvement. Once again, a big thank you to today's sponsor, June's Journey. Make sure to check out their game. The link's down in the description. Now, if you think this case was horrific, well, you need to check out my video on the ex-wife who actually got away with murder.